South Korean President Myung has delivered a special address marking the one-year anniversary of his predecessor Yoon Suk Yeol's failed martial law bid. Mr. Yi said the past year is proof of the country's democratic resilience, adding he believes South Koreans deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. He says the country will mark the 3rd of December as a public holiday to remember the people's sovereignty. He vowed not to let future generations go through such a crisis, but warned that work to clean up after the martial law bid isn't yet complete, as perpetrators have yet to be punished. If you recall, the announcement plunged the nation into crisis and exposed both the fragility as well as the strength of its political system. CNA senior correspondent Yoon Suk has more.
지금 대한민국은 당장 무너져도
On December 3, 2024, then President Yoon Suk Yeol made a late-night announcement that shocked South Korea.
저는 북한 공산 세력의 위협으로부터 자유 대한민국을 수호하고 우리 국민의 자유와 행복을 약탈하고 있는 파렴치한 종북 반국가 세력들을 일거에 척결하고 자유 헌정 질서를 지키기 위해 비상계엄을 선포합니다.
South Koreans rushed to the National Assembly in a bid to stop the martial law order. Then Yoon was losing his grip on power following prolonged political wrangling with the opposition-controlled parliament, which he labeled anti-state. First-time lawmaker Seo Mi-hwa, who is visually impaired, arrived to find that police had formed a blockade, preventing anyone from entering. So she climbed the gates.
총이 동글동글 이렇게 쇠문으로 돼 있는데 그 사다리처럼 연결돼가지고 동글동글하게 쭉쭉 연결돼 있더라고요. 이렇게 쭉쭉 만드는 거예요. 그럼 이게 발을 끼면 올라갈 수 있다는 뜻이잖아요. 그래서 제가 발을 하나씩 끼워서 이제 올라갔죠.
Hundreds of citizens such as Oh Kyun-bin also turned up.
시민분들이 계엄철폐 독재 타도를 계속 외치고 계셨고 실시간으로 이제 스마트폰으로 안에 상황 중계해주는 그 뉴스들을 이제 보면서 계속 이제 계엄 해제를 기다리고 있었죠.
190 lawmakers, mostly from the then opposition Democratic Party, with support from a few ruling party members who had managed to force their way in, voted unanimously to overturn martial law. The order lasted just 6 hours. But protests continued until the Constitutional Court upheld Yoon's impeachment in April, ousting him from the presidential office. The martial law crisis led to months of political vacuum before power shifted into the hands of the Democratic Party with the election of Myung as president in June. South Korea's international standing also took a hit, and its economy was left reeling, with GDP contracting 0.2% in the first quarter, as U.S. tariffs further worsened its outlook. But some analysts say the biggest worry is the deep-rooted political polarization building up to the martial law bid.
Everybody was shocked. Recovery speed is really high. Unless we address the potential source of effective polarizations, I don't think the Korean democracy is going to be healthier.
Professor Park says the crisis, which ended without bloodshed, also showed the resilience of the nation's transition to democracy.
They were not only afraid by the passive action by military forces, but also, more importantly, they were afraid of large mobilization of the public.
1 year on, former President Yoon is standing trial on charges of insurrection and abuse of power. If convicted, he could be jailed for life or even be sentenced to death. South Koreans say it is crucial that he be held accountable to ensure that no future president will ever dare to declare martial law again in this country. Yoon Suk, CNA, Seoul.